Hello everybody and welcome back to Amity Bloom. My name is Nazy. Today I wanted to film a journal process video in my traveler's notebook junk journal that I made. I've been collecting some ephemera in my wallpaper envelope here, and then I also have some stuff paper clipped and put in my journal, and I also have this little bucket here where I have a ton of stuff. I've been saving things every day of just random things that I want to put in my journal, as well as my whole desk is covered right now with a ton of things. This is my happy place, and as I mentioned before, this was one of my challenges to complete this journal for One Book July, and I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and choose. I'm going to just start from the beginning, and I'll speed it up, and I hope that you guys enjoy. So if you're interested to see my journaling process, then please keep watching. I'm looking through my wallpaper folder, trying to pick out some ephemera that I like. That picture right there is a scanned image from the vintage Alice and Jerry books. It might look very familiar if you've seen my recent Bloom journals. That was a picture that was left over, and I'm so happy I was able to use it in my journal. Using that scrap piece of paper, that's actually some leftover tea-stained paper. I don't like to throw away my scraps just because anyone who knows how tedious the tea staining / coffee staining process is, and the last thing you want to do is throw away those scraps of paper. Here I am using the leftover words from that image from the children's book, and I'm gluing it onto the side of the paper just as decoration. Now I'm pulling out my washi drawer, kind of embarrassing. I know everybody has that one drawer in their craft room that is just filled to the brim with washi tape. I have a very big collection and I'm trying to use it up because I want to buy some new washi, and my goal is to finish at least 2 to 3 rolls of washi tape, so fingers crossed. I'm trying to stick with the greens, the reds, the creams that you can see in the picture. Those are the colored washi tapes that I chose. And then there I have a little piece of scrap paper that I'm going to use just to add a little bit more depth to the image. I always love ripping apart little pieces of paper and like putting them behind images or in between, different collages. I think it really adds a lot of not only dimension, but overall I think it kind of finishes the page. Here I'm cutting off the tails from my sewing machine. I decided to, instead of just glue down that image, create it into a little pocket. So not only does it serve as beautiful decoration, but also as a secret hidden pocket, which is something that I absolutely love doing in my journals. I am also adding double-sided sticky tape to the corner where I folded that piece of paper, just to make it as a little tip-in. So instead of gluing it directly onto the page, I glued it on the other page. That way I can flip it out and have more room for journaling. So now that I created my own little journal card with some scrap paper, and I created a little tab on the back of the card, I don't like plain white background, as you all know. I decided to use some vintage sewing paper and glue it to the back of the card. Not only is this absolutely cute because you're using some vintage items. It also hides the white background, and you can also write on top of it. Now I'm working on the back side of that piece of paper. I could have just simply journaled directly onto it, but that's not how I roll. I decided to use some different scraps of paper that I have on hand and create a mini collage. Here I am pulling out some ephemera. That was a receipt from a Hobby Lobby purchase. I think I bought some fabric and I thought it was really cute because it already has lines for journaling. But I ended up choosing some scraps of wallpaper that I have. Quite recently I went to a thrift store and I found a little Ziploc baggie full of wallpaper samples and I was quite excited. As you can see there, that piece of paper ripped very easily. That was actually a little scrap from an old vintage envelope from 1942, I believe. And that sunflower image is from the Edith Holden watercolor book that we all know and love. Adding some more pieces of paper just to complement the collage. It was a really wonky collage, I'm not going to lie. I've never made a collage and then turned it into a pocket. But the idea behind it is I wanted to still collage some pieces of paper together while still having enough room for journaling and having enough room to add a tuck spot. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of those who join this wonderful family. And as always, I hope that your day is filled with an abundance of peace and love. And I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.